Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Totally Well Show. I'm your host, Joyce Strong. The Totally Well Show is a place where we get curious, ask questions, and explore everything to do with health, human behavior, fitness, longevity, nutrition, mental health, performance, spirituality, wellness, and all the things it takes to help you live the highest quality, most fulfilling life. My guest today is Michelle Wilson. Michelle is from morelifewithlesscoach.com, and Michelle is a coach and expert in helping people to get organized and find more time to do the things they want to do most. So welcome, Michelle, to the Totally Well Show.
Thank you, Joyce. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm excited to hear more about what you do. Every time I've been with you at a networking event or out in public and I tell people what you do, they say, "Oh my gosh, I need you."
Yes.
So I don't know. You get a big rise out of people when you tell them what you do. So I'm excited to hear more about what it takes to be a coach who helps people get organized, and how that ties into our show, health and wellness, and how it makes a higher quality of life.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there is a need. People are busy. They have a lot going on, a lot of commitments. And my main focus is on helping people and coaching people with organization. Also, less things in their life, so they have more time for people than things. And in addition to that, time management. We tend to be overcommitted these days between work and family and children and other commitments outside of that, finding it hard to manage our time. So
how did you get into this? What made you think about being, well, first of all, have you always been organized?
I would say for the best later part of my life, yes, I've been quite organized. I had to learn that skill being in corporate and the high demands of healthcare. And so if I was not organized, I would feel stressed. So in order to help my own health and well-being, I learned the skill of organization myself, did a lot of research on getting rid of a lot of things and a lot of research on managing my time. So I've become a fairly organized person, I would say, at least in the last 15 plus years.
So having known you as long as I have, I get a sense too that it's kind of your personality to be.
Yes, and I might have got that from my mom. Hi, Mom. So she's a very organized person, a little bit more extreme than I would say I am, but and it's not extreme. It's healthy, and so it is in me. I like things put away in places where if I need something, I can find it. I don't like a lot of clutter that causes stress for me in my home or in my office. And it's in me. It's in my personality to be neat, organized, and clean, and not have too many choices. Have what you need, not an overabundance of things.
Why would too many choices be a problem?
Well, it becomes overwhelming. So let's say you have 40 sweaters and you're digging through your closet, and some are on the top shelf, some are hanging, some are on the bottom, and you've got all these choices, and I think paring it down to maybe 7 sweaters is easier, because then you have to wash them, and sometimes you only have a few choices, and it makes it easier.
And those are 7 that you actually wear that really fit you?
Yes, exactly. So yes, getting rid of the things that you don't wear or are damaged and don't fit you it's a good thing to get rid of those things. Yeah.
Why do people not get rid of things? Why do people hang on to stuff?
Well, there's sentimental value to things, and There's the I might fit into it someday, or I might grow into it someday. And just I think the mere fact that you made a purchase and it's hard to let go of that because you have an investment in that item. So so there's and you know, that stuff accumulates over time.
Yeah.
And it becomes overwhelming, and you have to feel the burden and the stress of a lot of things when they accumulate over time. And
So you have sort of a mental inventory of all the stuff.
yes. Actually, I have a mental inventory going on right now about the stuff I have in my attic, because it is that time of year where that's where the holiday stuff is, and I just want to get rid of it all and have a few things.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of stuff up in there. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that.
Oh,
And
wow.
the fact that I'm thinking about it is now I have to think about how long it's going to take me to go through it. What am I going to donate? What I have to make piles. What am I going to trash? What am I going to donate? And what am I going to keep?
So that's interesting. What are some of the techniques? It sounds like you started to list some there, that you actually have a system of, for yourself personally.
Yes.
Not to mention what you'll do, when you coach somebody through
Yes.
this. But you have your own little system of what. Can you give me any more detail about that, like the order that you go
Absolutely.
through things?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I
So-
heard. I'm thinking about it. It comes into your head.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the first step when you think about it.
Yeah.
And then I have a tendency to hit one area or one spot. I found in the past that if I wanted to clean out my home, say, or even my office, I found that to be overwhelming. I'm jumping from room to room. I'm not making much progress, and I'm just not making the headway that I would like to
Let me
make.
take you back just a bit.
Sure.
So the first thing is you thought about it. What happened when you thought about it?
So
What was the feeling?
I was breaking it down in my mind. I was envisioning.
Did something come before that, though? That before the thinking was there?
Well, yeah, the holidays are coming. So this particular thing we're talking about is the holidays are coming.
But I'm sensing
And,
some
yeah,
anxiety or
yeah.
some like
Yes.
something doesn't feel good,
No.
and you don't like
Yeah.
the fact that you have all this crap in your attic.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so the first comes the thought, and then the unpleasant feeling.
Yes.
And then a feeling of overwhelm.
Yep.
Okay.
Because there's a lot to do, and I have to carve out the time, and I have to figure out how long it's going to take me. And so
So this is a key piece now, because
yeah.
my tendency would be to say, it's too big, I'm doing something else.
Yeah.
And procrastinate as a way to bring that bad
Yeah.
feeling down.
Yeah, procrastination is, you can distract yourself with other things and shift your focus. And
But you don't.
yeah, no, I don't let it go until I get it done. And there's a lot of people with that type of personality out there. And there are others that are okay with, procrastinating. Or
No one's okay with
the-
procrastinating. No.
Well, I shouldn't say okay with it. I should say they do procrastinate.
Yeah. So you think
Yeah.
about it, you don't feel happy in some way, it's an unpleasant feeling.
Yes.
You start to think about how, and
Yes.
I think I heard you say you pick.
Yes, so
You
I have a
select it.
vision of what the outcome I would like to, what I would like the outcome to be. So once
Oh,
I have the
cool.
vision, then I can work off that vision.
Okay.
So for years, we've been getting live Christmas trees
Mm-hmm.
that are enormous. And sometimes when you're picking them out in a field or wherever, you don't realize how big they are until you get home. So then it's like, oh, we don't have enough lights because it's so big. And we don't have enough ornaments, so let's get some more and more. And now I have this vision. I want a small tree with less lights, less ornaments, and less things to unpack and then have to pack up. So, but the Christmas tree is important to the family. It's tradition for us, and so I'm ready. I'm ready this year to tackle this project and and have less things, but still have a beautiful tree. And while I'm doing this, to actually make the effort to donate and or trash anything that's broken, instead of just leaving it in the box and
So
putting
you-
it away again.
So you've narrowed down
Yeah.
the item that you want to organize into a project or into a manageable.
Yes, yeah. So I'll sort through, I'll sort through all the decorations, what goes on the mantle, what goes on the tree, what goes on, the dining room table or dishes. Actually, last year I did donate all of the Christmas dishes to the Epilepsy Foundation. So that was really nice because I felt like I take them out once, I use them once, and up in the attic they go. And we don't need to do that. So, but that was my choice. And
Do you keep anything, like one special thing, even if it's broken, that you just can't seem to say goodbye to?
if it's broken, I have a tendency to donate it or give it away. If it's something somebody else can fix, I would rather have somebody take that, fix it, and get some use out of it. I don't keep broken things, no.
Do you
I-
keep anything that you might get rid of, but it has sentimental value that you just have to?
I'm very careful on my selection of things that I donate. Things that are important, that do hold a strong sentimental value to me, that I feel I might regret in the future of letting go of, I would hold on to. A lot of times people can get a box and put those things in a box and put it away. And if you don't touch it or use it or display it and value it for X amount of time, say 6 months or a year, and you take that box out again, then maybe you can make the decision, but you didn't make the rash decision right away to get rid of something that you might regret in the future. But
I
if
did
you're
that-
looking for that thing in say 20 days and you want it, then you know you're using it and you know you love it.
I did that with some of the kids' clothes.
Yeah.
My memory box.
Yes.
So I put everything in the memory box, and then when I opened it, I was like, "Why am I saving it?" Like years later,
Yeah.
I had no idea why I saved it, but it helped me that transition to finally.
Yeah, and there can be a very good transition that I can help people with when
Yeah.
it comes to that, because the immediate thing is for a lot of people is they're afraid to let go of certain things because there might be a use in the future, or they might be sad if realizing that they let go of something that they feel they shouldn't have let go of.
Do you ever dig deep? That's really interesting to me because as a coach myself, I do get into these kind of let's dig deeper and figure out why.
Yes.
Do you do that with
Of course,
with people, or
yeah.
do you find that helps people to explore what that attachment is?
Yes, and this goes back to when I was in corporate. I always had to dig to find the root cause, or the root of the problem. And so now doing this and helping people, let's get to the root of it, and let's dig deeper and find what your attachment is, or why you can't put the scissors away in the drawer that it belongs.
So what are some
What-
questions you
is
would
it-
ask? Like, say that was my problem. I
Yeah.
have a ceramic Christmas tree that I don't even like that much,
Yeah.
and half the lights fell off of it. Like,
Yeah.
why am I having so much trouble just putting it in the trash or giving it away?
So where did you get that ceramic Christmas tree from?
Yeah,
Where did it come from?
yeah.
What does it mean to you?
So it might be the memory of the person who gave it to me, or
Yes.
that time in my life.
Yes, and it
So-
could have been a very happy time for you that you don't want to let go of. Could have been a very sad time for you, loss of a loved one, or it could have been just something you saw somewhere and you were in a store and the person that was helping you or assisting you was just such a nice person and you felt really good that day. So there could be a lot of different reasons why you're attached to that item and you just can't seem to let it go. So
Sometimes I found if I took a picture of it to save it,
yes, Yeah.
that helps, like especially with the drawings that the kids made in first grade
Yes.
30 years later.
Exactly. And I still have one of those boxes left in the attic of those pictures. So, but you know, you do what you can when you can do it, and carve out the time to do it. It doesn't have to be all at once or an all or nothing thing. It really just over time, and what you're doing as you're doing it, you're creating habits, and habits to take the burden of things and the things that weigh you down. You know, if you just go to dust and you've just got so much stuff, and you've got to take all that stuff down, you know, while you're doing that, you might want to think about just slowly, okay, this has a chip in it, it doesn't really look good, I'm going to let it go. Or this I don't even like anymore, you know, and just start letting things go.
So sometimes you don't even know
So
why
when
you're
you go to
holding on to it.
dust, then, you know, a couple months later, the whole process becomes easier.
Yeah.
And, you know, it really does help.
So this really sounds like something that you do over a period of time. Maybe
Yes.
you would coach somebody for an entire year and help
Yes,
them
as
build
long as they need me to
Yeah.
coach. Yeah.
and build baby steps.
Yes.
So what are some of the things you notice that people benefit from by learning to have more life with less?
So when you have less things, you have less responsibility,
Okay.
and to those particular things. So essentially, you're making room in your life to spend more time, say, outside or